Hello everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to go through the Bleacher Report article because they put out an article ranking top 30 players in 2030, which is 4 years from now. And I'm curious to see what the list is going to be like. Will they have Jokic still in the top 5? Who's going to be number 30? And much more. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe down below. It helps the channel a lot. Hit that like button so this video gets promoted to more viewers. And leave a comment below whether you agree with my view on the list or whether you agree with the list in general. I would love to know your opinions. And yeah, let's get into the video.
Hold on. There we go. So the Bleacher Report predicted the 30 best NBA players in 2030. And I have not seen this entire article yet. I think I've scrolled through a little bit of it, but I haven't gone through the entire article to see every number. And so that's what we're going to do. So I'm assuming Luke and Shea are probably top 5 in 2030 based on them being the thumbnail. And for the Bleacher Report also ranked the every starting Bleacher Report also ranked every starting 5 in the NBA after LeBron James signed with the 76ers. And I made a video on that. You guys should probably check out. It's a YouTube short, so if you're on YouTube, definitely check that out. If you're on Spotify, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel, Mr. Allen. And yeah, I post all my podcast episodes video form on there. I have video form enabled on Spotify too, but if you want to click any links or anything like that for any important stuff, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. And if you want to be featured on the podcast where I do fan questions and interact with you guys, then definitely check out my Instagram, ty.allen81 or Boxes and Elbows Pod. You can follow both of those. And yeah, but let's just get into this list. So at number 30, wow. Okay. They have Paolo Banchero at number 30, even though he'll be 27. Paolo's weird because he had a disappointing season last year. And, he's a number 1 pick, so you expect better from him. And he just also hasn't had a really fully healthy season in a while. But he's also one of those, playoff risers that, you can squint your eyes and he could be top 10 in a playoffs. And I'm surprised he's this low considering A, he'll be 27, and B, he is a playoff riser. So some of these players I could see him be better than in the playoffs. And yeah, it's just his talent is just crazy for him to be number 30. I know he had a disappointing season last year, but goddamn, at number 30, really? There's going to be 29 better players than Paolo Banchero in 4 years from now when he's basically going to be in the middle of his prime. That's kind of crazy. But then again, Bleacher Report, the last article, I had a lot of gripes with it, so not ruling it off the table that this could also just be rage bait at the same time. Let's see what they put. I'm surprised to see him low, but having him on the list at all is a bet on his upside. What do you mean having him on the list at all? You don't think Paolo's going to be a top 30 player in the NBA? He's certainly top 45 now. You're telling me he can jump up 15 spots when we know players like older than him are going to regress? In 4 years from now, LeBron's likely playing. He's going to be off the list. Is Curry going to be playing? Maybe. Durant? Maybe. But the older guys are going to be off the list. So I don't understand how Paolo can't jump up 15 spots, especially when I hope to God the Magic put a competent team around him where he can actually make a conference finals. But I do firmly believe that last year, if Franz didn't get hurt, they probably would have made the conference finals against the Knicks. I think they would have beat the Pistons. They would have, they probably would have beat the Cavs in 6 games because nobody believes in the Cavs anymore in the playoffs. And then the Knicks, they could have made it a competitive series. I don't think the Knicks would have blown the Magic out of the gym. Completely. I think the Magic would have put up a better fight than Cleveland did, at least. They probably could have gotten 1 game. I know it's hindsight and the Knicks just destroyed everybody in the East, but the matchup with the Magic and how they play defense and the way that Paolo plays, I think they could have gotten 1 game versus the Knicks. Paolo has played 4 NBA seasons. His team's point differential is better when he's off the floor. Okay, sure. I mean, this is one of those where you have to look at the eye test and not the numbers. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the whole story. The giveaways aren't great, but they're an expected part of the learning curve for a playmaker. There's still a good chance he develops into a dominant point forward. It'd just be nice if his first 4 years had given clearer signs that'll happen. Okay, I don't know how to feel about that. Ooh, Caleb Wilson. Wait, he's a top 4 pick, and they have him at 29. So they don't think he's gonna get. So he what? He's gonna be 23, and they have him at 29. I feel like he should be a little higher than this. This is kind of low for a top 4 pick, especially with the Bulls where they're gonna build around him, and he's gonna actually have a chance to develop the right way. And Tiago Splitter's a good development coach, and he's just a good coach in general. So I think he's gonna put Caleb Wilson in the best spots for him to grow. But sure, okay. What are they saying? It's just not even close to the ideal environment for evaluating a player's ups. Oh, they're talking about Summer League. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, we've only seen him in Summer League, so it's actually kind of hard to tell what he's going to be like 4 years from now because we only have, what, like Summer League sample size of him playing against somewhat NBA talent. So we'll see. I think this list will be completely different in like a couple months, maybe even like, yeah, no, this list will be completely different. J Dub. Okay, he'll be 29. Will he be? Well, he's already better than Paolo now. I think this might be right for J Dub. Not gonna lie, especially since we don't know what the Thunder team is gonna look like 4 years from now. Like they have a lot of guys they have to pay and keep paid and try to keep this roster intact. And it's interesting. Is he like? Are they gonna keep the big three of him, Shea and Chet together in 2030, or like are they gonna be on the same team? Like if I were the Thunder, I would say maybe. Well, obviously Hardenstein is the odd man out in the starting lineup, but between him and Chet, would Chet be the odd man out, or would I feel like I don't know, because Chet has been disappointing. Like even the championship run that they had, he didn't have a good run. It's just so happened that Shea was just that good, and Jada was just that good that Chet's deficiencies were overlooked. But yeah, that whole playoff run, he couldn't hit a three. He was really good defensively, and he'll always be really good defensively. But offensively, there's just more to be desired from Chet, and he just hasn't shown. Like he's had flashes, but he hasn't shown a full, like consistent run of being good offensively. So I don't know. And yeah, he has had injuries, so hopefully those hamstring injuries don't bother him for the rest of his career. Number 27, Stephon Castle. He'll be 25, and there will be 26 better players than Stephon Castle. These players are gonna be so young, and they have the. I don't understand. Like, what could they possibly know about Castle to where he'll be 25 and he'll probably be the start with the like him and Harper are going to be the starting backcourt by this time for sure. Fox is going to be gone, and they don't. I mean, I imagine they have Harper above him, but like, is the gap between him and Harper that big? Like, I think Harper is going to be top 15 at least by this time. Do they not? Do they not see Castle as a top 20 player? Like I do in 4 years. I certainly do. I think he'll mature. This finals has taught him a lot that he just needs to stop turning the ball over, be more not be so aggressive on defense, and just you know take what the defense gives him. He did have a really good couple of games against the Knicks, but in terms of like his ball handling ability and his IQ, just wasn't there. But I think he'll definitely grow after this finals. I think the whole Spurs team will grow for sure. And it's good that they have Tobias Harris coming in as a vet. That's huge for them. his superstar upside depends on whether he develops a consistent jumper. I feel that he doesn't hit threes. Like he hit that one timely three against the Knicks, but in game 3 of the finals. But other than that, it's like the Knicks just give him open shots and he just doesn't make them. Uh, there's a far from a guarantee that trend will continue. Could start contending for all NBA nods. So if he's contending for all NBA nods, that probably means he's a top 15 player in the league, but you have him at 27. Make that make sense. Franz Wagner. So they have Franz ahead of Paolo, 4 spots ahead of Paolo. They have him being better than Castle in 4 years. I just don't agree with that at all. Like Franz is great. His defense is really good. And his offense is also like he's a good cutter, good play finisher. Creating for himself, still has to work on that. But we saw what he did against Cade in that playoff series. But as of today, I would still say Paolo's better than Franz. And I just don't think that the jump that Franz can take will be bigger than the jump that Paolo can take. But he's been the better of Orlando's star forwards over the last 4 years. I just disagree with that. I think Paolo's been better. Maybe Franz has been more impactful. But does that mean he's a better player? That's like a teetering a very fine line. Injuries and inconsistent 3-point shot are very real concerns, but not to the degree Wagner can be kept out of the top 30. See, if Franz was like 28, and wait, who was 28? Yeah, if Franz was 28 and Paulo's 30, I'd be okay with that. But 4 spots, I mean, 4 spots is also just not that big of a gap either. But I don't know. Because Paulo's also just going to be younger anyway. Like, he's still going to be in the middle of his prime. Franz at 29, with his injury history, we don't know what he's going to look like at 29. It's a very weird list so far, for sure. Khan Knipple. Is this too low for Khan? I feel like Khan could be a top 5, 6 shooting guard in the league in 2030. And if you're top 5 in your position, that probably means you're top 20. So I just don't know if 25 is accurate. Really good rookie season, though. What are they saying? But Knipple also has some playmaking upside, and while he's not likely ever to compete for all defense nods, he has the size and know-how to at least be passable on that end. So they're talking about his defense. So they're not really talking down on him at all. In fact, they are. See, this is what I don't understand. Bleacher Report is contradicting itself because it's saying if he shows even moderate development in some of his lower tier skills, which he will, we know he will, he could develop into a top 20 player. I just said that, and that they have him at 25. Like they're just contradicting themselves at this point. Like we know he's gonna develop his lower tier skills. Defense is gonna be better. He's gonna be a better playmaker. He's kind of forced to be on this team because no LaMelo anymore. So I just don't understand their logic in this number ranking. But 24 Jalen Brunson. Somehow this feels wrong and right at the same time. Like, you know what I mean? Like him being this low feels right because of his age, and he does take a lot of contact during games. And while he's been healthy for most of his career, it's gonna be on a decline. Like it's inevitable. He's gonna have some injuries, and he's gonna be 33. And yeah, this feels about right. Now it's crazy because Jalen Brunson is like top 10 in the league right now, and so for him to drop off 14 spots in 4 years might seem like a little stretch. but I just mentioned that he does get bruises and bangs, and he plays a very bully style of basketball where he takes hits all the time, so that could affect how much of an injury history he has in the future. Knocking on wood that he doesn't, because he's my king. He's the king of New York, so we need him to stay healthy for every single playoff run until the end of his career. But Bleacher Report is being realistic. Um, we just witnessed Chris Paul remain very effective well into his 30s, and similarly built Brunson could do the same. Yeah, that's about right. Chris Paul has injuries in his 30s. Brunson might. Chris Paul was still effective. He still led a team to the finals. So this seems accurate. I would say this seems like the most accurate one so far. Evan Mobley. I forgot about Evan Mobley. Not gonna lie, and he's gonna be 30. Is he gonna be better than Brunson in 4 years? I don't know, because we always want this offensive jump from him, and he just doesn't give it to us. Like, I thought he would be in the conference finals against the Knicks. I thought he would abuse the Cat matchup or even an OG matchup. Maybe not abuse, because OG's a good defender and Cat still has size on him, but I thought Mobley would be more aggressive. And in game one, he was like, that was the best Mobley I've ever seen, like in the playoffs. And it just so happened that they blew a 22-point lead. But after that, his confidence was just shot. He didn't do anything for the rest of the series. And he hasn't done anything in the playoffs, really. Like, we want him to, take the pressure off Donovan Mitchell, and he just hasn't. Um, Increased playmaking volume is another potential source of improvement. Yes. Like, I think he can be like a point forward, like kind of how Cat was at the top of the key where he was making reads, but if you put a smaller defender on him, he'll just drive past him or post him up and abuse him. I think that's what Mobley could be. He could be that. Now, will he be that? We don't know. He does have a DPOY too, which is unfortunate because it'll be his only DPOY of his career because Wemby exists. But interesting to see Mobley at 23 though. Alperen Şengün. Uh, I think in 4 years, Jalen Brunson will be better than Şengün. Not gonna lie. I think Paolo will be better than Şengün in 4 years. Not gonna lie. I don't know. My Şengün stock is just very low at the moment. The playoffs, actually, the past two playoffs, he just hasn't been good. And he's just one of those players that's just frustrating to watch because he tries to draw fouls, and that's what every player tries to do. They try to draw fouls, but like his try to draw fouls is him. It's like Embiid when he just falls on the floor and flops and yells at the refs and doesn't actually try to make the shot. And he also just doesn't play defense either. Like, yeah, 27, still young, and he will be better. But my stock on Şengün is just very low at the moment, and I think some of the players below him are going to be better than him. But that's just a personal opinion. Bleacher Report obviously has the numbers and whatever to back it up, so. But there's Şengün could take a little bit. Yeah, he also turns the ball over a lot too for someone who has the ball in his hands a lot. Um, Defensive mobility may never get better, but his awareness can. Yeah, defense is always going to be a thing with him. Amen Thompson right above. This seems right. If I'm telling you, if Amen actually shoots league average from three, he could be a top 15 player in the league for sure. Like, the defense is always going to be there. The athleticism is off the charts. If he develops, let's say he even shoots like 33% from three, but he knocks down mid ranges, he pulls up for mid ranges, and he knocks them down with confidence. He could still be a top 15 player in the league. If he, like, just jump shots in general, like, that's all we're asking from him. If he does that, he's a really good player. Yeah, his athleticism is off the charts, can be genuinely shocking. Yeah, him and Asar are going to be really good. Now it makes me think, is Asar going to be ahead of him now? I think I think a men has more of an offensive package than a Sar does. Because a men averaged 18 last year, a Sar only averaged like 10, and both teams lack like spacing and shooting, and it's kind of crazy that they're both in the same boat. But a men is, I think today is a men is better, but a Sar's defense is better though than a men. But they're both really good at defense. Um, at number 20, you have Chet, 28-year-old Chet. I think if he ever, if Chet, if the stock on Chet is ever lower than it can be, it is right now because he just went up against Wemby and he was afraid and he only took 4 shots in a game 7 of the conference finals. And it was just very frustrating for him. It was frustrating to watch him in the conference finals, to be honest. Like, full series, it was just frustrating to watch. And we project him to be healthy next year. We project Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell to be healthy. And so Chet won't be asked to do what he doesn't want to do. But in order for them to win another championship, though, he has to get over the hump of Wemby because he's going to have to face Wemby regardless the next, like, at minimum 2 to 3 years. So he's going to have to bulk up. He's going to have to actually face Wemby. And 20 seems about right for Chet because defensively, he's always going to be like top 2, top 3 in DPOY behind Wemby every year because he's just that good defensively. And yeah, he needs to speed up delivery. This is so funny because you watch Chet and his delivery to shoot is so slow. He takes his time to shoot. Like his load up for his shot is so slow that A, sometimes it can just get blocked by taller players like Wemby, or B, it just doesn't look like it's going in because he has such a long time to shoot that thing. And it just looks kind of ugly, not gonna lie. If he does that while maintaining his consistency, all around defender, 20 top 20. Yeah. Is Chet top 20 now? Maybe. I'd say like closer to 25 than 20. Denny Avdia is so high. What the heck? This is high for Denny. He had a good season last year, but higher than Chet, higher than Jalen Brunson. Like, I know he's gonna progress. Obviously, every player hopefully progresses. I wouldn't say it's guaranteed that every player on this list progresses into what Bleacher Report says they would, but I don't know, man. Danny being a top 20 player in 2030 is kind of crazy, I would say. And his defense needs to be better. If he can recapture his jump shooting. Yeah, it's weird because when he was with Washington, he was almost a 40% 3-point shooter. And then as soon as he got to Portland, it went down to 30%. He's obviously taking less threes in Portland because he wants to get downhill. They call him Downhill Denny for a reason. And they're comparing him to LeBron James. Okay, cool. Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson is an interesting player to rank because he has a talent to be top 20, obviously, but in that playoff series and just in close games with the Hawks, crucial games with the Hawks, when the ball's in Jalen Johnson's hands, he just genuinely doesn't know how to create for himself. Like, he'll create for others, but creating his own shot, and he's just not good at that yet. And if you're not good at creating your own shot, I don't think you can be top 20, right? Like, every player in the top 20 is either really great on defense to where their offense kind of balances out, or offensively they're gifted in a way where they can create their own shot at a high level or create for others, or both. And Jalen Johnson can only create for others at a high level, but he can't create for himself. Hmm. And he'll always be like a triple double watch guy because he like I said, he assists at a crazy rate. He's gonna get his 20. He's gonna get his 10 rebounds because he's a power forward. But top 20, is he gonna be better than Chet in 4 years? I don't know. I don't know about that. Who's number 19? Damn, they really squeezed Danny in there, bro. Having a forward like Johnson who can shut down the opposing star. Okay, but who did he exactly shut down against the Knicks? He certainly didn't shut down OG Anunoby, which was his assignment probably, because OG literally had games where he was like 29 points, 26 points. Like OG had a crazy series against the Hawks, and they're talking about this guy shutting down the opposing star. You can't even shut down a borderline star. Definitely didn't shut down Jalen Brunson. So I don't know what they mean by shut down the opposing star. Maybe that's just one series, and I'm biased, of course. So maybe I need to slow down a little bit. But we're already nitpicking Taylor. Okay, Tatum. Oh, that makes sense. He's gonna be the same age as Brunson, and he's just better than Brunson. But he's also coming off the major surgery, and for him to be top 20 is still great for a player of his caliber. This is another ranking that might cause fans of Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, or even Karl Anthony Towns. Oh yeah, I better see Devin Booker on this list. I really do. I hope I see Devin Booker on this list. Not only is he one of my favorite players, but he also just hasn't shown any decline. Every year he's been in the league, he's either gotten better at something. Like, I don't know how he can be left off a top 30 list in 4 years from now when, what, Devin Booker will probably be like 34, right around the same age as Jalen Brunson. How old is Devin Booker? Actually, let me look that up. How old is Devin Booker? He's got to be like 34, right? How old is Devin Booker? Oh, he's 29 now. So in 4 years, he'll be 30. He'll be 33. He'll be the same age as Tatum, and he's not on this list. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, major surgery from Tatum, and he might not be the same player he was even 2 years ago, which is unfortunate because Tatum is one of those players where he'll never be an MVP winner, but he'll always be like in the top 7, top 8 for MVP because he's just that good. But it's unfortunate that guys around him are just better. And we'll see what the Celtics look like in 4 years. Because Paul George is going to be off the team by then. We don't know what they'll do with Derek White. Mitchell Robinson is on a 4-year deal now, or 3-year deal, or 4-year deal. Kata, I think, just signed a 4-year deal. Pritchard, they might extend. So we'll see what this team looks like in 4 years. It might just be Tatum. Maybe they could get another star. Maybe they could. I wouldn't say that. I don't think they would flip Paul George. That would just be pointless. Tyrese Halliburton. I kind of forgot about him. Not gonna lie. But yeah, this seems accurate. Halliburton could be a top 20 player in 4 years. I mean, that playoff run just 2 years ago, we saw what kind of player he can be, especially in clutch moments. So this is no surprise. He's also coming off a major surgery. So him being one spot ahead of Tatum is not that crazy. And I don't think there's really much where Tyrese can improve, to be honest. Like he's a good shooter, great passer. He defense, yeah, but guards, you never really asking them to improve that much on defense. Maybe just don't be an absolute cone like Luka. But I don't think Tyrese plays the passing lane, so and he he still gets steals and whatnot, so he's still respectable defensively. There we go. Said it earlier. Top 15, Dylan Harper. So there's 12 spots in between Dylan Harper and Castle, and they're on the same team. But then again, the Spurs have three. The Spurs have three top 30 players, and they're gonna be insane, bro. If Wemby got this money, I wonder what Harper's money is gonna look like, bro. Because he's so good. He was literally the only player in the finals that I actually feared, like as a Knicks fan. Like I didn't even fear Wemby because I knew Cat was handling his ass. But Dylan Harper, we had legit no answer for whatsoever. Like you would put OG on him, he would just somehow be stronger than OG and Anunoby and drive. If you put Bridges on him, Bridges is too small. It's just Bridges isn't too small, but he's like Dylan Harper's just stronger. His will to get to the basket is insane, like genuinely insane. And if he shoots, like Dylan Harper's like one of those players, like a Men Thompson, where if he shoots 35, 36% from three, he might be the greatest player of all time. Like genuinely. Like 15, if he shoots 30, if Dylan Harper shoots 37% from three, this 15 goes to like an 8 in an instant. 14, Giannis. Why did I forget about Giannis? See, a lot of these players I'm just genuinely forgetting about. Because, yeah, Giannis will be 35 in 4 years. And he'll still be really good. He'll be on the Heat still. And he'll probably still be competing, but... Yeah. Because Giannis also has injury history. And it might only get worse for him the older he gets. The play style that he has. Him just genuinely punching his way to the rim. It's those lower leg injuries that'll cause him to decline for sure. Scotty Barnes. Yes, yes. Scotty Barnes start. My Scotty Barnes. Wow, I can't speak. My Scotty Barnes stock is definitely rising by the day, to be honest. Like, once this Kawhi shit clears and he's on the team with Kawhi, my God, his stock will be at an all-time high. Defensively, he's just an absolute monster. He covers like the entire like court defensively. He can guard 1 through 5 really well. Offensively, he's a slasher. He's a playmaker. Like his potential is crazy. I kind of want to see the 19 finally reach 20. Maybe he'll average 20 this season. I have no idea. Because there are a lot of mouths to feed in Toronto now with Kawhi potentially. And the difference between Kawhi and Brandon Ingram is very, very big. AJ DeBonsa. Yeah, I could see it. Number 1 pick. They're comparing him to like Kobe Bryant or whatever. Tracy McGrady. Yeah, seems about right. Especially with Trae Young, still being on the team with that ugly ass 4-year, $200 million contract extension. So he'll be spoon feeding AJ pretty much the entirety of those 4 years. So Darren Peterson. Yeah, I think Darren Peterson probably should have gone number 1 over AJ. Maybe that's a hot take. Probably is. But the Wizards had their eyes set on AJ anyway, so. Um. So, Bleacher Report, you kind of lost me here. LaMelo Ball, top 10 player in the NBA in 4 years. Um. This one kind of hurts. Ah. Now, granted, he is on a winning team now. He will be in the playoffs next year, so he could genuinely just go crazy in the playoffs, and that could be the reason why he's this far up. I hope that's the reason, because if it's not, I just don't understand any possibility. where LaMelo Ball is better than Scotty Barnes in 4 years. But is that just me? Or is that y'all too? Like, please comment down below, please. Someone tell me what I'm missing here. Especially the injury history too. Like, how many games do we think LaMelo is gonna play in 4 years? I hope to, like, knock on wood, I hope to God he's healthy all 4 years. I hope he's healthy for the rest of his career, because I'm not wishing injuries on anybody. But my God, for him to be top 10, you definitely lost me there, Bleacher Report. Definitely lost me there. Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, I can't say they're wrong. Tyrese is gonna be that guy. At least for the next 2 years, he's gonna have LeBron James and on his team, so he'll definitely gain a lot of knowledge about winning and that sort of stuff. And then those 2 years after that, it's gonna be him, Jaylen Brown, and Joel Embiid. Because that Joel Embiid contract goes into effect now, I think, which is another nasty contract, by the way. His contract and Trae Young's contract might be the nastiest contracts in the league, not gonna lie. Yeah, Tyrese, really good player. Cameron Boozer. Okay, I'm glad Bleacher Report is on the same wavelength as me, because I think I even said this on one of my posts, and I did a video on this, that Cameron Boozer is the most NBA ready player out of the whole like draft, and that his stock should be higher than or higher because he's number 3 pick, and his defense is going to be really good, especially next to Zach Edey. That front court is going to be absolutely nasty. And offensively, he's just the most polished player. Like, you really have no question marks about his game. Whereas AJ, you have question marks about his defense. Darren Peterson, you have question marks about his, overall like efficiency. And Boozer, you have no question marks. He's gonna be efficient. He still shoots the three at a good clip, even though in summer league he couldn't hit a single three for whatever reason. But he said he's not worried about it, so that's good. And he rebounds well, passes well. He's gonna be a really, really good player in 4 years. And he's only gonna be 22. Bro's gonna be my age right now. He's gonna be in 4 years. That's kind of crazy. Cade. Okay. I like this. Cade is that guy for sure. In the playoffs, could be better. This playoffs was way better than the playoff series against the Knicks 2 years ago. And I just wish he had more help to at least make the conference finals, because that would have boosted his stock a little bit too, being that far into the playoffs in what is like 4th year. Cooper Flag. Yes, this is accurate. I thought he was gonna be top 5, but I think so. That means they have Jokic still in the top 5. So that means Devin Booker's not even on this list at all. Interesting. So they probably have Jokic. If I had to guess the top 5, maybe not in order, it'd be Wemby, Shea, Luka, and Jokic. That has to be the top 5, right? They still have to have Jokic in the top 5, I would assume. Cooper Flag, yeah. Hopefully his 3-point shot comes around. If he shoots league average from 3, he'll be all right. Yeah, I don't know. I think the experiment from Jason Kidd putting him at the point was cool, and it was effective because now he has experience with the ball in his hands, and Kyrie comes back, so he's not gonna have the ball as much. But that was just a weird time period of Jason Kidd saying, "Yeah, we'll just throw Cooper Flag at the point guard position, and we'll let him figure it out." And then Jason Kidd's no longer the coach on the team. I think anybody who was around when Luka got traded is gone, except for the players. Like the whole roster is essentially still there, except for like imagine Luca and Cooper Flag together. That would be nasty. Oh, they'd be favorites in the West for sure. They'd be up there with the Spurs if they had Luca, Kyrie, and Flag. Shit, they might even be better than the Spurs. Not gonna lie. Okay, there we go. Anthony Edwards. It seems like every year he just gets better as a career year. I thought the 2 years ago when he set the record for threes in the season or whatever, I thought that was gonna be his best overall year. Nope, he just got better. And he's going to continuously get better. He might average, I don't think he's going to average 30 this year because now he has a point guard who can actually score. Maybe he will average 30 because now he has a point guard who can pass. I don't know. He might average 30. And yeah, they're comparing to Michael Jordan. I still don't know why those comparisons. Like, yeah, sure. Does he look like Michael Jordan? Yeah. Is he a shooting guard like Michael Jordan? Yeah. Is his game like Michael Jordan? Kind of not really. Jokic. So they have Jokic at 4 at 35 and Giannis at 14 at 35. But Jokic doesn't get injured and his game translates well every single year. Like he's just one of those guys where he doesn't do anything to get himself injured anyway. Like he plays so slow, he plays like with no effort. Like he could be 34, 35 and still be winning MVPs. That's how good he is. And he doesn't rely on athleticism either. 3 is Shea. Okay, so they have Luca too. Okay. Yeah, I think Luca will be better because he'll be younger. And while Shea doesn't get injured like Luca does have an injury history, especially the past 2 years. I think Luca will be better in 4 years, personally. Hopefully, the Lakers put a team around Luca where he can actually make the finals, like he did with the Mavs. Yeah. And then number 1 is Wembanyama. No surprises here at all. Honestly, the top 5 is exactly who I thought the top 5 would be. I think Cooper Flag will be maybe ahead of Jokic sooner rather than later. But yeah, I kind of agree with this. Foot cramp. LaMelo at top 10 just seems wrong on all accounts. Everything else from this list I kind of agree with for the most part. Like they're not too far off. I think the LaMelo one is like just absolutely like bonkers. But yeah, good list.